Barry here. I'm here to give you a quick update on my Lions Roar Pilsner. So I just want to give you a quick update before I swing you around to show you the gravity sample. So my fermentation schedule was that I fermented it for 9 days at the temperature range of 50.9 Fahrenheit to 52.7 Fahrenheit. Or 10.5 to 11.5 Celsius, and then on the morning of day 10 I slowly started ramping it up, and by the time the morning of day 12 came along, it was at between 62 and 64, in about that range, between 17 and 18 Celsius. And then now we're here on the morning of day 14, because on days 12 and 13 I did for the diacetyl rest, and then before I decide if I'm going to slowly cool it down over the next few days to slowly let everything settle out, and then I put it in my keg to lager at the end of the week or beginning of next week, I made sure to take a sample, because even though I was following a process that I know I could trust from all the research I've done, I didn't want to not take a sample. So here we have the sample, and it's hard to see exactly where it's at because every time I pull it up and put it back down, there's a lot of CO2 still in solution. So, but I don't know how well the camera's focusing on this, but let's just swirl it around one more time and see what happens. I could see here on the side of the hydrometer that's for beer that I could see the 1010 mark and see that it's slightly below that. So therefore it's probably like 1010, 1013, something like that, with a slight temperature correction, even though it is pretty cool, and this hydrometer is for 60 degrees Fahrenheit instead of 68. So I'm going to call it about 1013, 1014, something like that. And go from there. So now I know that I reached my target, which again I believe I said was 1015. And now that I know that I got that, I can take out the hydrometer and pour it. I know it's still very cloudy because it hasn't had time to settle out, but let's just pour it into my usual sampling glasses, which are my stone tasting glasses, and I'll swing you back around again and do a quick review. Alright guys, so as you see here, I guess you can see, as you guys see here, it's very cloudy, like golden straw color, almost like a touch darker than a straw, but I'm sure once it clears out we'll see its true color. And let's go for the aroma. Definitely, it's caught a whiff of sulfur, but now that I'm really smelling it, I can really smell those hops, and it actually does really smell like Pivo Pils. The hop character that I love in the Pivo Pils, and with the dry hop, it's going to be even more intense. So. And it's hard, if you haven't had the Firestone Walker Pivo Pils, I know some of you don't live in the States or don't have access to their beers, but if you can try the Pivo Pils and just smell that hop character, it's like a slightly sweet lemon mixed with that grassy spiciness, but it's different. The Sapphire and the Spalt Select together just mate with that clean bitterness from the Magnum hops, just creates this really awesome aroma. So it definitely smells like it needs to clean out over the lagering period, but this is a very yeasty sample, so it's not going to smell or taste perfect. But overall, when I get a good whiff of it, it smells really close to the actual beer that I'm trying to, mimic or be inspired by, because of course I didn't use 100% Pilsner malt like they do, because I wasn't going to use the decoction mash, so to get those melanoidin flavors. So let's just go taste it and see just how correct it is, because the aroma is just so nice. Cheers. Yep. So I get definitely a nice. There's not much malt flavor per se. Definitely, it'll probably definitely taste crisper after lagering, but I could definitely get that hop flavor that I love in the Pivo Pils. Yep. Tastes so close, it's almost ridiculous. So my vlogging arm is getting a little tired here, so I'll cheers you off, but just want to let you know that it's all going well, fermented out all the way. So now I'm just gonna, I'm too afraid just to cold crash it. I might ask a few brewers online, professional and home brewers, to see what they think. But for right now, I'm gonna set the SDC 1000 down about 2.5 or so degrees, every 12 hours. Unless, again, like I said, I would change my mind and I just decide to cold crash it down to 35 or 30, between 30 and 35, switch it to the keg and put it in at my keezer, which is between 38 and 40. So, but hopefully with another full keg in there, the thermal mass will equal out and it'll stay a little more steady, but overall it'll stay at a good lagering range. And I might have to do a 5th week of lagering, like instead of 4 weeks, 5 weeks, because it's not going to be such a low temperature like 35, but it should be good. So that's my update for now on the Lion's Roar Pilsner, a Bohemian Pilsner inspired by the Firestone Walker Pivo Pils, and I'll see you in the next update or the next Brewed Palate video. Cheers. Hey guys, so as you saw earlier, I said I was going to slowly ramp down the temperature of my Pilsner, my Lion's Roar Pilsner, to lagering temp and dry hop later. But I wanted to make sure that before I got it down all the way, that I would make sure to consult with, Matt Brindleson, the brewmaster of Firestone Walker, and Mitch Steele, the brewmaster of Stone, both who have dry hop lagers and both who I really respect. So they both said the dry hop after primary. So then they were hard to get in touch with, so I asked Paul Wicksteed from Time for Another One if I could dry hop after already bringing it down 5 degrees, and he said it should be okay. So what I'm going to do now is I weighed out 1.25 ounces of Sapphire hops. You would think that, you dry hop something with more hops, but for a lager, you still want the flavors to be subtle yet flavorful, so you're not going to add a lot. And the reason a lot of the clone recipes that I've seen said 1 ounce, and I was thinking of doing 2, but then I asked John Lapola from Bitter and Esther's, and he said 2 ounces would be too much for a Pilsner. So, well, I know I'm naming all these names, but that's one of the beauties of home brewing is to make sure that you ask people for advice before you make decisions on things you haven't tried before. So, as you see here, I have the firm chamber open, and I turned it off so it doesn't turn the fridge on and waste electricity. So I'm going to take out the blow-off jar and put it to the side so I don't knock it over, because I have done that in the past. And then I'll take out the carboy, or a better bottle, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to I know we don't really need to, but I'm just going to quickly star sand a little bit the edges of the glass. Be precautionary, but I know a lot of people don't star sand much just for the dry hops, but I'm just going to be extra precautious. And then I'm going to open the lid and pour in the 1.25 ounces of Sapphire. Sapphire hops, these ones at least, are only 3.6 alpha acid. So I lost a couple pellets there to the floor, but I'm not going to put them in, obviously. Actually, you know what? I want to have exactly 1.25 ounces, so I'll cover that over and be extra homebrew geeky. Spray the 2 pellets down with star sand, and just open the thing and put them in, just to have exactly 1.25 ounces. So now, as you would do anyway, respray down the bung, spray down the lip of the carboy, and put the bung back in. And then hoist the really full carboy back in and carefully put the blow-off jar back where it belongs, right beside it. So just as my trusty Wyatt film, I can just get a quick clip of the hops in there. As you see, they're nice. They're floating on top, so it should float down as as they start to break apart, because they are pellets. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the hops there for a week now. So now it's Thursday evening, so next Wednesday night or Thursday I'll rack the beer off the hops and yeast into my keg and lager it for 3 to 4 weeks, and then carb it, of course, and serve it. So that's where I'm at, and I'll see you soon.